Alright, hello. How's everybody going? Real Witch Doctor here. Today we're going to be doing X-Plane 11. Yeah, so I picked this one up and it's starting to grow on me. I'm really actually liking its capabilities, what it can do. So I'm in a Delta 737-800 or 738 aircraft, which is a free model. It's the Zibo, Zulu India Bravo Oscar aircraft. Really good. I would say this is pretty much as good as the PMDG aircraft, the 737 Next Gen series. In the Delta livery here, we're flying Delta Flight 701 from Sacramento International in California to Salt Lake City International in Utah. It's a flight that I will be taking here on Sunday, but by the time you guys see this video, I'll probably already be there, or maybe it'll post up beforehand, but most likely it'll be when I'm already there. But I'm flying Southwest and not Delta. I'm going out there for a conference. But without further ado, let's get the ball rolling here. So I'm kind of going to be crossing some of the stuff from FS2 Crew. I have the FS2 Crew for the PMDG 737 and Prepare 3D. So I'm kind of crossing some of their progresses with their SOP, SOP2 specifically with the PMDG flow sheet as well that I've written out. If I happen to skip something, it happens. I try my best. I've gotten pretty spoiled with the having a first officer, so I've gotten pretty lax in trying to keep up with everything. But if I miss something, it's all right. Don't have to flame me in comments. I'll be well aware of it when I do miss it. So let me start getting aircraft here fired up. So we got battery master switch on, flight controls guarded, alternate flap guarded, spoilers guarded, yaw damper lights on, low pressure lights are on, electric hydraulic pumps are off with the pressure lights on, windshield wipers are in the park position, and standby power switch is guarded, light is out. Gear down, 3 green. So we are ready to bring in ground services. The chalk should be on at this point. We will incorporate ground power. So let me poke my head back up here. Ground power, oops, on. So we got the juice flowing in. No point doing pitot covers like you would do in a PMDG, but in a cold dark cockpit, because this one does not model that. But we got ground power on. Position light now goes down to the steady. Transfer bus light and source lights are off. So next, let's get the IRSs heated up. So they'll start heating up. Boom, guarded. I can roll up there and we can watch the time. It's pretty much real time. The service center phone is off. We got proper PSI for crew oxygen. Pass oxygen is guarded. Engine control lights are out, the reversal lights are out, the EECs are guarded, flight controls guarded. We cannot do the Mach speed air test because it takes about 4 minutes before we can test that. So we will just kind of start flowing on through here real quick. At this point, I'm fairly happy with what I got. So we got oil quantity, looks good. System hydraulic looks good. All right, so that's pretty much the gist of it. Now I want to get the weights and balances set up here, so let me get this out of the way, and you'll get an opportunity to actually watch me set that up here. Edit weights and balances. So we have a total weight, because we're carrying 155 passengers and cargo. So total weight with passengers, cargo, and all their baggages is gonna be 36,586 pounds. Total fuel, which actually, let me apply these changes so they're there. This plugin here is just absolutely awesome. It's free and it's just sweet. I've already ran my numbers here. Where is my, yeah, it's this here, my dispatch sheet. Bam. Total fuel, where was that? That was, oh shit. Alright, so total fuel is 14,685. If I turn my head like this, we might be able to go back up here to put that in real quick. Bam. So let me run through the math here. One thing I'm finding is when I type in the fuel, it doesn't split the load across the tanks, and then I just got to kind of mess around with it. 146.85. Yeah, see, now I've got some weight down there that's not right, and yeah, no, we can't just do that. No. Where's my calculator? Ah, shit, I can't find it. Anyways, let me do this. My calculator, you won't see my calculator up here. So 14685 divided by 2, we can do 7342.5 in each tank. So 7342.5. I'm going to set this one to 7342.5. And that should, well, actually, it's not going to take it now, is it? God damn it. Why are you not working? Oh, there it goes. 7342.5. We can put this down to 0. And put this at 7342.5. Bam. Perfect. And then we should be matching 14,685 pounds. Awesome. Usually I got to mess with that like no tomorrow to get it all to work. It's just absolutely insane. So what do we got? I should write down some of this information so I can update my top cat and stuff for all of this. So 0 weight was 91300. Max is 174,200. Okay. So total weight 142,571. So yeah, we're fine. Nothing bad's going to come from that. Bam. All right. Delivery I'm using is a download delivery from I forgot who made delivery. I'm sorry that I'm not able to give those kudos here. So I'm going to do an ATIS request from this side just to make sure my weather is up to date. KSMF. Oops. We'll just kind of move ourselves over here for the moment. Clear. There we go. We could do a send. We'll give that a moment to update. I'm going to do a return. Go up here. My AIRAC is out of date. I haven't updated it and just been busy. But that's not going to affect anything. So KSMF. Bam. We'll do route here to KSLC for Salt Lake City. Bam. So we're doing, what was, oh, we got our ATIS here. So current winds is 070 at 4, which clearly contradicts what I originally had, which was 290 at 3. So 70 at 4. Okay, I'm just writing that down. And 299.5. Apparently, whatever my stuff is pulling from is not pulling the updated. Oh, I know why it wasn't pulling the most update, because I hadn't ran. My PFPX is tied to Active Sky, and I didn't run Active Sky to pull latest weather. No wonder this has been causing so much grief these last few videos. All right, never mind. Hang on, so we've got, see if we can get over here a little more so I can actually see. I forgot, yeah, DL. I keep getting DA and DL mixed up for Delta, so it's Delta 701. Bam. Oops, it goes over here. Sorry, not paying attention. We want to do our departure. So I'm gonna take off on actually 070. We could still go off on, yeah, because 8 would be half. So we could still take off. We'll come off on 34 right. That still actually works out for me. We're going on the Rivercat departure, and looks like Macus is what our transition was. Bam. So we'll hit that to the route. We can go to the next page and we can actually see that. So after that, we are going to be taking Jetway Q124. And from Q124 to BVL, which I totally forgot. Oh, that's Bonneville. That's right, Bonneville Speedway. Bonneville. And then from Bonneville, we are going to be on the arrival on the Watts 5. Where's my Watts 5? Watts. There's the Watts 5. Okay. I'm not going to set which runway we're coming in on until I get closer for the weather. So what are we looking at here? Just kind of take a peek. Watts. Watts 5 watts. Okay. Activate. We'll execute that. So performance, 0 fuel, 127. That's what I wrote down. 127.8. Okay. Cost index, we'll do 35. That's been pretty much a standard that I've been seeing across the board for most airlines. I have a chart, but I have yet to print it out at work and bring it home because I'm just lazy. So fuel, reserve fuels is going to be I'm going to round it up to 3.9. So reserve, planned fuel, which we've already confirmed because I just set this up. 14.7, and we were going up at flight level 350. Bam. So let's get cruise winds real quick. Top of the descent, cruise winds are about 256 at 77, 245, 243. So I'm thinking 248 looks good, and 248, and then say about 80, because it's just an average. Oops. We'll get that 248 and 80. Bam. So we'll execute that. Next, outside air temperature is 19, which I was able to confirm that. All right, oops. So we can go /19. And I have a D-rated takeoff with an assumed temperature, which assumed temperature is 38, and a D-rated takeoff of 2. Or takeoff 2. So boom, D-rated takeoff 2, and you'll see that pop up here with the assumed temperature. And I'm going to do a D-rated climb as well, because we got a little bit of a flight, so there's no point in hightailing it all the way up. We're taking flaps 5 for takeoff. Center of gravity has already been calculated, so trims at 4.7 units. Runway winds, we just got that here. Oops, wrong way. We're at 070 at 4, so we should be able to just go 70 at 4. Oh, it doesn't want that. Okay, so how about we do 070 at 04? What? Like that? Okay. So there we go. You can put the slope and stuff in. Actually, X-Plane does take into account the runway slope, which I do like. So we got V1 and rotate is both at 140, and V2 is at 145. So with that right alone, I'm going to put the speeds in up here at 145. And we can look at 140, 140, 144. Damn, almost on the money. Perfect. I love it when things come together. So we're good here. Let me close out the dispatch report. Here's the Rivercat departure. See if I can rotate this. Bam. We're trying to get maintain up to flight level 190. So we could go ahead and set transition altitude 190. We're not using air traffic because usually they would give you an initial departure altitude. Otherwise, you're just going to set it for your SID. So we'll get that set. Boom. And we're taking off on runway 34, but is there... Let's see if we can zoom in a little more. 348. So I'm going to set this to 348. Only reason as to why is because it is vectors. Technically, basically, once you hit 540, you're going to flip around and go over to Rivercat. So, I mean, I can just go LNAV, VNAV, and be done with it. But we're good there. Let's bring up the legs, make sure there's no discontinuity. Nope, everything looks good. And we don't have much left here to go. Okay. So, oh yeah, we needed to do the IRCs. Or not IRC, IRSs. Alright, they look fine. Bam. And we should get everything to start populate up here. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to be on the takeoff page. We're looking at 4.7 units. I think that looks about good right there. Works for me. Alright, so we've got fuel going on the aircraft. I got everything else here for the most part all good. This is another cool thing with this program. Now you're going to hear people start getting on the airplane and stuff. So while we're doing that, we're going to start working through our pre-flight here some more. So altimeter, which I have here, was 29905. I can get that set. 29905. We can get the standby set to 29905. And the first officer 29905. Bam. Okay. So those are set. I'm going to set minimums 1,000 up. So what are we looking at? About 30 feet. So I'm going to go to 1,030. Just because 1,000 feet is acceleration height. And most airlines after 1,000 feet, I won't say most, a lot of airlines will have you hand fly up to, you know, about 1,200 feet or so before you engage autopilot. But for me, it's just a good reminder. It's like, hey, stupid, your autopilot should already be on. So I'm gonna set it for 1,030. We can, oops, pull that out by, well, we can leave it out by 10 for now. I'm thinking everything else up here is looking good at this point. Alright, so let's go ahead and keep going through our pre-flight stuff here. Come on, boy. Zoom out. There we go. Alright, so let's go through some more to pre-flight. So we got flight control switches guarded. Low pressure lights are on. We got spoiler switches guarded. Yaw dampener light is on. Standby hydraulic.
Welcome aboard. As you find your seat, please stow your larger carry-on luggage in
standby
the overhead
hydraulic
bin.
lights are all
Place
off.
smaller items under the seat in front of you.
Which are these, and these here. Alternate flap switch is guarded. Control light systems are off, and our switch is off. We should be on the navigation, normal, and auto. Engine spar valve lights should be extinguished. Crossfeed selector is closed. Pumps are off with the low pressure lights on. Electrical meter, we can put that on battery. We can roll this on ground power. These should be on. Standby power is off. Drive lights are on. Disconnects are guarded. Ground power, obviously, we're on. Bus transfer is guarded. Transfer bus and source lights are out. Gen bus lights should be on. And we have a bunch of wipers in park. I'm not worried about the panel lighting. No smoking going on. Exhaust is fine. Emergency lighting goes on. I'm going to set that on for now.
Captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. We do ask that all passengers take your seat at this time.
Yeah, I mean, sit down, people. We got places to go. Alright, so bus transfer, force lights, gen lights. Before I move any further, let's do the overheat fire test for the APU. Lights up. Now, like this, you can't pull away and leave it on like you can on what the hell is that? PMDG 737, because I can hold it, pull my mouse away, it stays on. I can look up at the gauges and everything's all kosher. This one, as soon as I move away, I'm finding that it shuts off, but I haven't tried it with my truck IR yet. So APU is all good. We can go ahead and actually, we're gonna go ahead and bring the APU online now. Yeah, let's go ahead and bring the APU online. So we'll bring up the forward pump on, and hold 1, 2. All right, so APU is gonna start powering up. And we're just kind of waiting. I'm just waiting to see if we got some life going on here. As soon as I get some life going, then we'll continue on with the flow and come back and finish up the APU. Alright, we got some life going on. So, equipment, cooling. Trim air needs to be on. These are fine. Recirc fans are on auto. Actually, we're going to go window heat. Can go on. Probes will stay off. Anti-ice is off, not needed. Engine hydraulics are on with low pressure lights. Electric hydraulics are off with low lights. Everything else here looks good. We can set this to flight level 350 because that is our cruising altitude. And I need to get the we're gonna flip on the APU on the buses, turn on the APU bleed, and we can put the packs on for now. Get some air flowing back there for the passengers. Let me get the I don't have a landing altitude yet for I'll pull that in a minute because that requires me digging through all the other stuff. Trim air we got on, rams on, pressurizations are all set. We can go to lights. Landing lights off, taxi lights are off, engines are on the auto, logos off, anti-collisions off, wings off, wheel well lights are off. Okay, so EFIS panel. There we go. We've got our minimum set for acceleration height. More ADF switches are as needed. Nav mode should be in map, and I got it set. Well, we should bring this actually into 10 for the departure. Weather radar is currently off, and all other map buttons are as needed, which I will go ahead and turn on traffic on this side. And he will get terrain and traffic on his side, and we'll roll him out a little bit. MCP panel. So first we got flight director. I am the master. First officer is the slave. Bank angle selector should be at the 30-degree mark for departure. Autopilot disengage should be up, which it is. Oxygen system we can test, which is, you can barely hear it. Clock is 21:48, 21:48. Actually, 21:48 because that's UTC. This is local time at 3:49 or 1:49. So we've got, we're actually behind, aren't we? Because this flight was supposed to take off at 1:35. Yeah, so we've been lagging here a little bit. Sorry, guys. All right, so let me proceed on. So we've got flight director standby interest set, N1 reference selector is on auto with speed. These should be on normal. Test my lights. Looks good. Up, looks good. Dim. Oops. God damn it. There. Alright. Enough. This should be set to reject the takeoff. No abnormal on the DUs. Landing gear down 3 green. These lights are, this light's out. These are guarded.
Flight slow.
We'll let that run through its test. While that's going, we got speed brake up with lights out for it. Parking brake is on. Forward thrust is on idle detent. Reversers are down. Flap lever should be at 0 and matches. Communication radios I'm not worried about because we're not really using, because again I'm not using air traffic control, so I'm just gonna make up a random squawk code and call that good. Cargo fire test. Okay. Where are we at? Weather radar. Here's I'm fine. And I don't have much. Stabilizer trim is guarded, so at this point everything is looking good. I just got to get the arrival here. So what was current weather in Salt Lake? I should check that first. Okay, so I can't fucking see this. KSLC. Paste that. Send. So while that's looking, I'm gonna. This thing here has the ability of pulling up like airport information. KSLC. There we go. So you got like your information here. I don't know if it gives me landing altitudes on this. Currently, from what I'm seeing, it does not. Alright, so what happened? There's another one that gives us charts and stuff. Not this one. These are my downloaded charts. No, not that. Maybe it is on this. Maybe I don't get charts with it. Alright, so let me, what are we looking at on weather right now? ATIS. We got winds at 030 at 4. So I'm looking at coming in on like 3-4 left, is what I would say. But let me pull the charts for 3-4 left. I actually have charts here for this. Where the heck was my charts? So 3-4 left. We will do it as an ILS. Actually, I could do it with like a Cat 2 also, couldn't I? There you go. 3-4 left. That is this one. Now, I'm not going to download it yet. I'm going to use this just for the information. So touchdown is 4226. So 4226. This goes to 4,200 feet. Perfect. Alright, so we are basically good to go. Let's do pre-flight checklist. Oxygen when tested 100%. Navigation transfer and display switches normal. Auto. Windows heat on. Pressurization mode selector auto. Flight instruments. Heading 167. Altimeter 29095. 167 29095. Check. Parking brake set. Engine start levers are cut off. That completes the pre-flight checklist. So let's go do this. Go do this. Do this. Welcome speech. I'm going to terminate that. Remove the chalk. I'm going to start my pre-plan for my pushback here. There we go. I love this pushback utility. This push thing is absolutely awesome.
All right, Captain. Got the directions. Let me know through the menu when you're ready.
Gotcha.
United Airlines is the only major airline that will allow you to do that. You'll be able to tune into Channel 9 if our...
So, let's start looking at the before start procedures here. Remove ground equipment, chocks are gone, doors are closed, flight deck door, no, I can't close and lock it on this one. FMS should be on the takeoff page, which it is, the other is on the legs, and one reference bug that should be a D238, so we are set there. Auto throttles, we are going to arm. VNAV and LNAV will go on. Heading selector set to the runway heading, and altitude selector is cleared for our SID chart. Taxi takeoff briefing, I'm not going to worry about. Exterior doors, we can just verify. Yay, it's all closed right here. Lights are out. Wing lights are off. Wheel lights are off. Well, now we contact for push and start. So I'm going to. So before start, we got flight deck portal closed. Door closed. So we've got fuel, looks like about 12,000 pounds, pumps on, passenger signs on, windows locked, MCP V2 at 145, heading at 348, and altitude at flight level 190. CD pre-flight completed, rudder and the aileron free and 0, taxi takeoff briefing completed, and the anti-collision light needs to be on. Bam. Alright, so that will conclude our push here, and we're going to get, or starting our push, I'm going to get pumps going. And let me call for pushback. This is pretty cool. You're going to see the tug come up and everything.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
All right. He's happy. There's the tow. So once we start pushing back, I'll start killing off the packs to divert the airflow to the engine to start spooling, and we will get this bad boy fired up and get the hell out of here and get up in the air. So that's all done there. Next is going to be the pre-taxi. I'm actually looking at the wrong page here on some of this stuff. There we go. Here we can go outside and see it if you like. So you got the tug right there.
All right. Looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Very good. See, he's gonna go up, scoop the wheel, and then give me a good pushback. So I'm gonna go back inside because I'm actually wanting to get ready for. I wish the seat did not interfere. That's my big thing. Otherwise, everything else looks good. No quarrels with anything here. Alright, let's just wait for him to ask for parking brake release. There is an ATC.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Oops.
Tow's connected, bypass pins inserted. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Let's go.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Alright. That guy is awesome. He is happy. Oops, I did not put this back on the lights page. There we go. So we're going to divert. Take the bleeds off. Packs can go up and off. I don't know why this is on auto. That should be there. Actually, no, open is fine. Alright, so we're going to go 2 and 1. So starting number 2. And once this hits 56, the starter will cut out. You hear it click, and then the starter valve open will go out. There you go. Starter cut out. So once this engine's stable, basically 246, around 20 for N1, around 400 degrees for engine temperature, and about 60 for N2, 246. We look pretty good, so let's go ahead and start 2, or engine 1, I'm sorry. Engine starter cutout, valve light is off. Give him a hand signal to disconnect. This should be stabilizing here momentarily. Alright, so we can go through and get the hydraulics on. Pitot heat's on, and we are now on the generator.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
Packs back up, that goes isolation, bleeds, and that goes off. Alright, so we are, missed a yaw dampener, that was bad, so we can go up the generator. Otherwise, hit the recall. We're clear there. Roll this up to altitude off, so at least we're reporting. I don't know if this airport does that or not. It's just habit for me at this point. Alright, so we got generators 1 and 2 on. Probe heat should be on. Anti-ice is not needed. Packs are on auto. Isolation's on auto. APU bleed air switches off, along with the APU is off. Engine start switches need to go up to continuous. Which they now are. Flap levers we can set for flaps 5. This lower display unit can now be blanked out. We already tested the recall, so we can go for the before taxi checklist. So before taxi checklist, generators on, probe heats on, anti-ice not needed, isolation valve auto, engine start switches continuous, recall checked, auto brake RTO, engine levers at idle detent, flight controls checked, ground equipment clear. So pretty much after this, I don't really need to follow all the flows here anymore. I have most of that all worked out, so engine 1's definitely stable. 2.4, well, can't see it, but 246. Alright, so let's get the hell out of here. What do you say? What would you say? I don't know the words to this song. Something about monkeys, I don't know. Just making up words. Alright, let's look up and get out of here. G-O. G-O-O. What time is it? Oops. There we go. My throttle, my controller here was sticking a little bit. Yeah, so we're going over to 3-4 right. Pretty nice day. This aircraft will get the walking pretty quickly. It's daytime. I guess we can throw taxi lights on. I mean, it is daytime. We should be seen, but better safe than sorry, right? Feels like I'm kind of creeping away here. I would go take a look outside. I'll save the outside views for when I edit the video. So hopefully you guys are having an awesome day when you're watching this, or awesome weekend if this posts after the weekend, or just awesome period. I know I should be having some fun. I'm gonna be in Salt Lake City for a conference, for the Spillman conference, which is the software that our police department uses. Basically, you know, for running names and checking license and all that good stuff. So when you get pulled over, that's the software that gets used. It goes back to the state and federal, and the state obviously pulls from the federal level. Yeah, so I got a conference for that, and I don't know about. I was supposed to go in through an admin certification class. Why is that in the middle of the run of the taxiway? Seriously, there was this admin certification class I needed to go through, but the classes seem to have been full, and our sales rep or our agent, or whatever you want to call them, the classes were full, and I was on a waiting list, but we were trying to get some sort of information to get in so I can start studying for the whole thing, and we just never heard anything back. It's Linux. I'm fairly proficient with Linux, so it shouldn't be a challenge to get through, but not knowing what to expect on the test without messing around in a practice environment can pose a challenge. So I do not believe that's going to be happening at the conference, which is too bad. I was actually looking forward to it. But the bonus is I'll be there with my boss, and I like hanging out with my boss. So it'll give me some good one-on-one time to talk to him about when he retires, which is in a couple years. There's 2 of us that are in line for, I wouldn't say in line for his position. He wants two of us in our office to be able to apply for his position, because I think he wants to keep it in the department, which I don't blame him. I mean, nobody wants their job to go to the outside, right? So we've got that, and I want to kind of talk to him more about trying to get up to speed. I've done his job before in many places, so it's not a matter of not being able to do it. It's just a matter of getting up to speed based on where I'm at for those jobs. So we want to do, before takeoff checklist, we got flaps 5, green light, stabilizer trims 4.7 units. After takeoff checklist complete, so we want to do runway entry procedures. That's going to be lights on. Everything else looks good. Okay, the and this. All right, runway entry procedures. Are we going? I'm just hoping this is going to be a good flight and a good video. Trying to get this bad boy bird here moving. There we go. Somebody I was watching was telling about a good time to for making that turn, for lining up, and I'm still kind of working on it. Alright, so get ourselves turned up here, which is about 348. This is like the slowest runway entry ever. Alright, so looking good. Takeoff. Engines look stable. Toga. Okay, I won't be talking too much right at this moment. 80 knots, check. And off the yoke pressure here.
V1.
Rotate.
Positive rate.
Positive rate of climb. Gear up. Vertical nav. Okay. Bring flaps. Flaps 2.
1,000.
Flaps 1. Flaps up. Alright, so Aircraft's unstable. So after takeoff checklist, please. Engine bleeds are on. Pax auto, landing gear up and off, flaps up, no lights. After takeoff checklist has been completed. Now let's take a look outside. This is going to be a little on the loud side, guys, so I'm sorry on that. Yeah, so that texture that you're seeing on the ground, I had actually made. There's free software out here for X-Plane to be able to pull the digital mesh and the digital mesh and the sat photos, and then put it all together and then lay it on out. I noticed something with the highway back there, Highway 99 and I-5. I need to go back and double check that, make sure I did situate all that and didn't break it with some other stuff that I was putting in. So we are currently at 5,000 feet. We go home, grab the PA system. We're currently on a good climb out. Once we hit 10,000, I'll roll this up to flight level 350. Technically at this point it should still be a sterile cockpit, no conversations. We got some stuttering, okay. Still got some stuttering. I know the textures that I put in does take a toll on the system, and I need to reinstall my system because I pulled my motherboard processor and put everything else on, but it's still, my old system was an i7 Intel, and now I'm on an AMD Ryzen 7 2700X, so I'm still running on a bunch of old Intel drivers that I should be having at this point. So next week when I get back from my conference, I will be going out doing that. I should have turned the weather radar on when I was on the runway, and I did not do that. But we can roll this out now for some distance. Set him up for a little bit of distance too. So far it's been a pretty good little flight out. I was fairly impressed that this time I wasn't walking all over the runway. I was having issues before with that. Alright, so I don't have too much more going on. It'll be pretty quiet. What I'll wind up doing is once we kind of get through everything, then get situated at cruise, I'll wind up probably doing some outside shots on the video and stuff like that, and but you'll wind up seeing us come back when we come in for our approach in Salt Lake.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fasten seatbelt sign is on. Please remain seated. When the captain turns the sign off, you'll be able to move about the cabin. When you are in your seat, please keep your seatbelt fastened in the event of unexpected turbulence. Please be careful when opening the overhead compartments. We ask that you use the lavatories located in your cabin, and please don't stand near the lavatories in the galley. You may now use all approved personal electronic devices. For everyone's
Looks
safety,
really nice
please
out
make
there,
sure your
doesn't it?
personal belongings are clear of the aisle.
I just spend more time
Please
just kind of
go on
looking
personal device
at,
entertainment.
because you wouldn't even think
On our
twice
United
about
credit screenings option, sponsored by
the
United
realism
Plus
out there.
Explorer card, on-demand movies, in the seat back in front of you. If you need to have a headset, we'll be happy to provide
What's cool
one
with
once
these
the captain lets the
PA
flight
announcements and
crew
stuff,
get
they're
up from
tailored
our
to the
dump
airlines you're flying with. So like United, they have their own type of thing, stuff like that.
UnitedWiFi.com. You can
Oh,
access
no, they're still doing
United.com
United.
and
Never
the
mind.
United app free of charge, where you can check flight status and more. To use other apps and websites, you can purchase an internet access plan. We will be serving a variety of complimentary drinks, wines, craft beer, and other alcoholic beverages for purchase. In United Economy, a variety of snack boxes and refreshments are available to purchase, as well as freshly prepared meals from our
Alright, so
bistro
we're coming
on
up on
board
Dinger.
menu. You can find more
I
details
just want to
about
take a
the
look at
menu
my
in the back of
progress.
Hemisphere's magazine or
So
the
top of
seatback guide.
climb
We
is at
accept most
60
major debit and
nautical
credit cards,
miles,
including
and we're
those with
looking
a
at
Visa,
2225
MasterCard,
Zulu, so
Discover, or
about 9
American
minutes
Express
we'll be
logo,
at
as well as
our
the mileage
cruising
plus
altitude.
Explorer Visa card.
We expect
Now
to
invite you to sit
be
back, relax, and
arriving in
enjoy
the
the
Salt Lake
service on today's
City
flight.
at
Let us know if there's anything we can do
2321 Zulu,
to make your
so
flight more
we're
comfortable.
a little over an hour out right now from Salt Lake. God, it doesn't seem like it's that long of that short of a flight. Amazing. But anyways, let's get back up here to our climb segment. And we're going to be getting ready to hit our transition altitude here soon. So when we pass transition, we'll be setting standard, and then we will check, which we're on standard. At least once we get to the top of climb, I'll be able to know how long it'll be before I have our descent, so I know when to pop back. Basically, usually what happens is it means I'm going to go get like snacks or whatever. Okay, transition altitude, set standard at 18,500. Now, checked. Standard, check. And we set this at 29902, which is standard. Perfect. Alright, so now we're making our turn to Macus, which is our transition out of the SID, and it'd be jumping up to our jetways. So we bring up our legs, you can see them here. So what do we got, about 116 miles to Macus? Yep. Then we got McCord slowing. Nice thing is when you bring these progresses up, you can kind of see when you're going to get there, which actually tells you up here too. So 2238, 20 minutes. Where else can you pass 100 miles an hour or 100 miles in 20 minutes? It's so awesome. I guess we can kind of move up here a little bit. What do we got? 20,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the. There we go. Let our passengers move about the cabin. So there should be a pyramid lake. Looks really nice though. Hoping that the digital mesh is accurate. I think I could also change the scenery based on the time of year. I'd have to confirm that. Maybe I thought I read something about it. I just don't remember. But anyways, we'll just kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy our flight. The flashing here is just due to the scenery level being so damn high. Because I pulled everything down in 4K and then some. So there's a couple of things I can go and turn off, but then I'm sacrificing other quality that I don't want to sacrifice. So, you know, flashing of some shadows is no big deal. You can see the reflection of the mountain in the water, which is pretty dope. Alright, we're just about at top of climb. The top of climb's at 28 nautical miles at 2224 Zulu, so about 4 minutes will be at our cruise altitude. And sudden jerking of the head like it does right there, I think it's because of my track IRs on and I didn't cut out the software. But it's not moving. I mean, it's sitting flat. But I think it might be conflicting or something. Who knows? Ooh, look at that. Lights all bubble, 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 bubble. I think it's the cloud reflections as the cloud is moving. That's what's causing it to freak out. The clouds that I have on are a third-party cloud. Try to make things look a little more realistic. I need to install reshade so I can really sharpen everything up and clear it up a little more just to make things look just that much better. That'll be another thing. I'm not going to be pushing right now a lot more stuff to install until I get the system reinstalled, because it's kind of pointless download and install this stuff, and I'm not going to be home in a few days to enjoy it. Kind of a waste of internet bandwidth, really. Slowing down on our climb here. Why are we slowing down on our climb? We must be hitting some turbulence, that's why. Going over the water there, we're going to bounce. So 4 minutes. Come on, baby. But that does not look like an economy climb, because it should be saying climb 1 with a derated climb. So I did specify that. Even up here it says it's an econ. Alright, well, I'm not going to overly stress on it. Progress. But for my arrival, I'm pretty sure I'll be coming in on the 3-4s. Shooting for 3-4 left. So during our cruise and stuff, I'm going to get those charts downloaded and get that all put in. Beautiful scenery. This is going to wind up cutting out before we get into Salt Lake. I think I only carried it down across the Sierras before it flips over to the default scenery. And that's where you see right there where the white is. And we move the mouse right here. It's where the tile ends between my stuff and then the regular sim stuff. You actually can see it right here. So that line runs right on down here, which is why the lake was flashing. I didn't even think about it. I'm going to wind up building up more, but I got to do them in smaller chunks just because it takes forever to do it. When I did everything from like Chico to San Diego, the waterline, everything down California and the Sierras through Reno, down to Vegas, down through Flagstaff, all the way to Phoenix, Arizona, to almost the border of Mexico. And that took me 12 hours to compile. And the data for it is huge. I mean, you're talking 400 gigs. We're just about up to cruise here, which will be good. We're looking at top of cruise, 8.6, so about a minute. But regardless, because you actually can see the line right here. Between here and here, you can actually see a little bit darker versus a little bit lighter. But the transition between the two, even the default scenery mesh is still really good. This is just a little bit better. But just looking at the lower layer clouds there, got a little bit of clouds are gonna bump on through, so it might get a little bumpy through here. Alright, so about 1,000 to go, 1,500 feet. Bring my radio altitude down real quick while I got that opportunity. I'm gonna set up for 600, which puts me in a good middle spot if I need to go up or down based on the chart.
1,000 to go.
There we go, 600. Alright, coming up to altitude. Good.
Late Shaman from flight deck here. Seatbelt signs on. Gives you an opportunity to move about. You ask on your seat though to keep those seatbelts fastened for your safety. Knows about it. So we get closer, we'll update weather gate information. Enjoy the ride. Thank you.
Alright, so we're at cruise. Top of descent is at 239 nautical miles out. That will be at 2309 Zulu. So 2309, we've got about 40, about 40 minutes. So I'm just going to kind of let this go, and I'll be back before we start our descent. Probably get you some aerial shots on the outside, things like that. But you won't have to sit here and wait 40 minutes for me to start descending and start talking again. So sit back, relax, and I will catch you on the descent. We are back. So we're just about 3 minutes from the top of our descent. I've already gone through and got the aircraft all prepped up for landing at this point, which is part of your setting up before you start your descent. So I got auto brake set to 2. I have our minimum set to 100 feet per our chart. I've gone through and pre-programmed the rest of the FMC to include the rest of the route in. So as you can see, we got Salt Lake right up here, coming up to the Great Salt Lake. Another cool feature of this app here, but we bring up the charts. We'll be coming up to Bonneville, then Knoll to Watts, and then since we're landing on 3-4, coming in, landing up to the north, we're spinning up off Watts to Race, the Cricket, down to Eau Choir, the Pit, the Cedar. Will vector around the Fairfield and then come in for the landing, which the airport's right up here. So that's basically the plan so far. So once we hit Cedar, I'll go fly headings. We'll get a little further past Fairfield. I'll roll us around, re-enable for lateral navigation, and then do the ILS approach for runway 34. But what are we looking at? 8 nautical miles, about a minute to go. You can see right here, the green dot, that is top of our descent. So we're just crossing Bonneville right now, which is the Bonneville Speedway down below. We got an aircraft over there that's been kind of keeping us company, which is pretty dope. I enjoy that. FMC, oops, we need to start setting our altitude, which I did not do. So we're setting to the hard limit of 12,000. 12,000. We haven't started our descent yet, so once we hit the top of descent, we'll start our descent down, and we set our hard, actually, yeah. So we should be hitting about 17 at Knoll. Let me see if Knoll has been configured for 17. No, it has not. So I'm going to because from Knoll to Knox. Let me go to legs here. We will set a limit for Knoll at /17000. Execute. There we go. So that'll recompute. We're probably gonna have to hit some serious drag to pull this off. Ah! Stop. That was my timer to get my ass in here for descent. So we got this. This is going to be a pretty steep descent. You can see the Great Salt Lake right here. So Knoll was expected at 17. I should have caught that and did not. 14 for Watts. How far out is Watts from Knoll? About 15, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can actually put Knoll at 20. /2000. Oops. I'd rather do that and not have to come down so hard. I mean, the descent is fine. I just would rather not come down that hard. I've already pulled the ATIS here not too long ago. Let me go ahead and resend out for another ATIS just to kind of confirm everything that I'm assuming. So top of descent here for 20,000. We should be, yeah, I mean, we're expecting 17. We'll pull it off. We'll be okay. We're not diving the plane down in any way, so. I'm just waiting for ATIS to return, just so I can confirm. There we go. The altimeter. Altimeter is 3013. Still no winds, but I'm going to prep as if there is winds. So we would have to land to the north. So I can get these in the box here for standby. And once we cross transition, we'll be able to pull that off. So 14 for Watts would be okay, and 12,000 for race. That is where we're looking at where I have us set is for race. I mean, the descent isn't bad, so I'm alright with this. We're too close to the oops. No, wrong way. Why is it not going down? Alright, reset this. This is all fuckered up. There we go. Alright, so we are cruising on down. Right now everything's looking good. We'll start our approach checklist, altimeters. Actually, we haven't even crossed transition, so there's no point in starting an approach checklist. But we are approaching our descent path, and our vertical speed is decreasing, so we're hitting right where we need to. But everything's looking good, so no complaints here at this point. I did not go over the descent checklist as I should have. Before descent checklist should have been landing altitude, which is set to 4,200, recall checked, auto brakes 2, landing VREF 144, minimum is 100, approach B complete. I should have completed that, but I had already worked through it. Alright, so we've got 12,000, and we'll be looking after. Yeah, so maintain 12,000. So once we hit the 12,000, we'll continue down. everything here is 12,000 at that point. I'm going to start drawing altitude down to 8,000 at this point. The cedars, those charts. Close for 3-4 left. What are we looking at? 10,000. Okay, actually we don't even come down that low, so 10,000. That puts us about 6,000 above the airport. Alright, so we're good there. Menu back up to here. And go to index. So actually go to progress. There we go. So crossing transition altitude 3013 for the altimeter. Let me set the standby. Perfect. I have our descent down to 10,000 feet. Let's see what the next page is. Actually, the hold will be fine because as long as I hit Cedar, after Cedar, I will manually vector ourselves around. So we got race. Right here, the blue dotted line with the magenta oval. This is our missed approach to holding, which you can tell here. It will tell you missed approach climb to 4,800, then climbing left turn 8,100, which it's marked at 8,100. To the radial 249 on the TCH Vortec to Statco intersect, which is here, and then do a 20 DME hold, which is no problems, which we're looking at 8,100 feet for that. I already have ILS frequency put in 111.9 at a heading of 344. Leave this about 20 for now. Actually, we can put the drag back. There we go. So far, so good. I love it when a flight goes well. Makes flying fun. I can tell you that much. So before descent we're good. Top up. I never did change this, but we can move that to 25. I was supposed to roll that down to 10 once we get up to the top of climb. And it's in my notes here, but I just keep forgetting to do it. So transition altimeter is set. Approach brief checklist has been completed. Altimeters. Actually, no, we're not even on approach yet. We'll do those now. Approach briefing, approach checklist. Please, altimeter is at 3013 set. 3013 set confirmed. Which I can just look over here, confirm it. We'll pull this in a little more. Alright, so yeah, not much more. So 5,000 for the approach check. That's going to be about 9,400 feet. We got a little weather just kicked in out of nowhere. That's the only problem with these weather programs. It's not gradual, whether it's default or payware. But you don't want to be flooding your internet connection trying to pull updates every like 2 seconds either. So far so good. This is working out well. So 12,000, I'm going to go. I never turned them off. That was a fail. But everything else is looking good. So I basically flew this whole flight with landing lights on, like driving them around town with your headlights on high beam. That was a fail. I failed. 50 lashings with the wet noodle. once we hit what are we looking at here? Pull this out this way. 14 looks like Dunlap. So 14 should be at flaps 1, 12 would be flaps 5, and we should be flaps 10 before we hit the final approach fix, the FAF, which it's not marked, but it would be flagged right here. Actually, technically, it'd be right up here when we nah, right here. So we're hitting pit. Let me go ahead and start setting the heading here. Oops, too fast. There we go. 173 for pit, and then we're going to be at Cedar. Which will be the next run out. Let me push this to the back. Got some weather going on out here. Oops, no, that was supposed to be at 25, not 30, but 25. There we go. And then we got a little bit of crosswind going on here right now. Kind of a tailwind, but more cross than tail. So Cedar, 12,000 is still fine. So far this has been a, oh, look at that. Haze is gone. Not sure what's going on there, but okay. So far so good. Alright, so we've got the, that should be right? Yeah, no, 119, IUH, no, IUAT, I don't know why we're picking up IUAT, should be IUH, or 111.9, did I do 111.9 or 110.9? No, 111.9, okay, we're fine. It may be because the AirAC is out of date. Because once we hit Fairfield, right? Fairfield is 20 nautical miles. 20 nautical miles out. No, we're not even picking up that radio. That is okay. And what was the missed approach? 8,100 feet. All right. So looking at what, about 164. Traffic alerts coming in. Which here it's probably that one right there. So I'm gonna flip it. How far are we from Cedar? Actually about 5 miles. So I'm gonna lock heading at this point. And this way here we can vector ourselves around to Fairfield. This is going to be a very tight turn that I wouldn't want to attempt, honestly. But there we go. Now we got a disc. Oh, we're picking up Pewter instead of Fairfield. Anyways, we're fine. You can see the aircraft right down here below us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll about 180, kind of teardrop it in. Not sure why it wants me to retard. Yeah, we can roll this back out. So I'm not going to talk overly too much. I just need to kind of focus on what I got going on here at the moment. Drag is off, right? It is. Alright, so swing it around. 130. This guy we're dead even with, so he'll probably roll right up in our face here in a moment. Going. Right there, that should put us on a good intercept course. I don't see the aircraft out here in front of us, so not sure what's going on there, but we've already got these on. Alright, so we're holding up okay so far at this point. Now you can see why this turn was just so tight. Traffic alert here. He's coming into my window. Go away. I'm a big aircraft. I should be able to lock LNAV here shortly. This is what I want to hit here. So, lateral nav. Now we should be able to resume from that point. Nope. It's being difficult with me now. Oh shit, wrong way. There we go. And I'm going to roll this now to approach. We're going to hit approach because the localizer is alive. Check. Alright, so we're going into capture. We're talking 344 on this, right? 344, okay. Alright, so once we reach Pewter is supposed to be at 10. Glide slope is alive. So Pewter is at 20. Camry is at 17.9. Dunlap's at 14. So now we're just kind of cruising on in. little bit of a crosswind, but coming across the nose. So we did do good in choosing properly. Alright, so glide slope is being captured. So we should be coming up to Pewter here any moment. I need to pull this in a little more. Alright, there's Pewter. No, Camry. I'm sorry, not Pewter. Okay, 19.5. So Camry is at 17.9. Speed should be bleeding off here very soon, which they're not. I'm going to start bleeding speed because I'm going to bring this down to 180. Introduce some drag to help slow her down. It's one of the things I noticed once you go to approach mode and everything is captured, the speed does not change. Where PMDG, as far as I remember, it still does. So I'm going to go runway lights, taxi lights. These are going to, oops, go that way. So we've got the airport right up here in front of us. Go flaps 1. Going into overspeed, just barely hitting it. We have the airfield in sight, so come on, baby, I need you to bleed speed. Flaps 5. There she goes. Now she's dumping speed. Going. So I'm going to start bringing her down to 144. 44. Flaps 10. There we go. Speed brakes are armed. 8 miles. Which
2,500.
gear down, flaps 15. That's it's heavily crab footing. You can see that this is crooked. It's all because of this. Wonder if I can pull this down here about 340 and see if we get the. Oh no, which one we on? We're on 3-4 right, right? Or 3-4 left. Correct. just feels odd because the center line's like right here, which is lined up with the runway. Alright, so let's go flaps 30. Get my feet up on the pedals here. Alright, got 2 white, 2 red. We are on the glide slope, so for visual at least. This just doesn't feel like a straight run. Now we got a tailwind all of a sudden. Oh my god, the weather has shifted.
1,000.
Tailwind.
1,000 feet stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude 7.
Which is 8,100. There we go. I think we should be alright. I just don't like that we're so damn crooked, but whatever. Right there, kind of match.
400.
Check.
$300. 200. Approaching minimums.
Okay. Auto throttle off.
100
Pilot
minimums. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Attention to the runway there. Alright. That's off. Speed brakes down. We're going to take this exit here. And then we'll stop and clean up the aircraft. Otherwise, it wasn't a bad landing until I wasn't watching the center of the runway. Just trying to get cleared up out of here. Oops. There we go. Flaps coming up. I didn't even do the landing checklist. Stay on the damn taxiway here. So this will be our cross. There we go. We're up over on the other side over here, so alright, we can go ahead and get her started. There we go. Having a hard time just keeping it lined up. I'm trying to do everything. And we can put bleeds on. Oops. Go steady. There we go. Alright, so we can set this to 4900. Set this to 0. Just doing the aircraft cleanup after landing. And this can go down. All off. Alright, we're just about over there. The gate we're going to is up here on the other side. And this should be what? Air conditioning, which it is. Good. Alright, that wasn't a bad flight. That was probably one of my better ones with this aircraft and this simulator. So, I mean, with practice, you're only going to get better. Alright, so we're gonna cut in right up here, and then we'll roll down and get parked. I probably should have came in over on 3-4 right, not 3-4 left. I didn't even think about it at the time. But everybody, welcome to Salt Lake City. I didn't even turn the fasten seatbelt signs back on. Go figure. Oh shit, I didn't make the right turn. That's alright. We can come down this way and wrap it around the taxiway. I took a turn too early. Here. There you go, next taxi line. This was the one we were supposed to come down. Yeah, I think it'll be cool when I start getting sceneries made up here and really get these taxi lines all cleaned up and everything else. Alright, so I see where I want to go in at, and I just gotta work my way. We want to park her right there. I wouldn't mind doing the same flight with the PMDG 737 and see what the difference is. Not necessarily scenery, but in the flight and the performance. I have a lot more hours in the PMDG 737 versus the Zibo here. There we go. Alright, so my stand is right here. Oops, no. I didn't get that marshalers or anything installed yet, but I will call that there a beautiful park. Parking brakes on. And we can bring up the engine page just to make sure everything's spooling down. Can we go before bus. Go. Which means we can now turn off bleeds. Packs, this can come down. Everything else can stay. Heat should have been turned off after, but we didn't get to that. And I will leave everything else. We can go fuel pumps off. And everything else basically just stays for doing a flip, which basically means I will go ground service. Actually, tell everybody to get off the airplane. And start some catering. Okay. There we go. That was our flight. Welcome to Salt Lake City. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed what you've seen here. Again, I'm still just working on getting used to the aircraft here. I've gotten kind of spoiled with FS2 crew and not having to fly through everything here. So trying to remember what I need to do all is been a lot. I mean, that's why I got checklists. But anyways, hopefully you guys like what you've seen. If you do, hit that subscribe button, that little bell for notifications if you're new here. But if you're my current subscribers, thank you for following. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you next time in either the friendly skies or fighting zombies or something. But until then, guys, I'll talk to you later. Catch you later, guys. Bye.